One. Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Dane Dormio. Welcome to the Chai Tea Tai Chi web show. I am joined here this evening by my good buddy Andrew Brown. How are you doing tonight, Andrew?
Perfect. I'm doing very well, Dane. How are you doing tonight?
Perfect and awesome as always.
You're
You
supposed
may
to
notice there's a lag. You may notice there's a lag. The internet is slow tonight.
That's
So
okay. It's not like the signal's going to space and back or anything.
I know, isn't technology amazing? Speaking of technology, the question that I have for you tonight, Andrew, is about this idea that you brought up. That's a really neat idea about the compounding benefit of long-term practice. How there's a sharp curve between the beginner and the master, essentially, that you can do something a little bit and get a little bit of benefit, but those benefits really compound over time with all kinds of things in Tai Chi and martial arts. So could you expand on that a little bit? What exactly are the compounding benefits of long-term practice?
All right. Well, besides the list of infinity, we can focus on just a few. So I've been practicing for 15 years. I know multiple people that have been practicing for 30 and 40 years. And when I meet them and when I meet my beginning students, it's, of course, it's like a mind-blowing difference in skill level. Now, a beginner who's had 1 hour of experience versus the guy who's had, 1 hour a day for 40 years experience, those are astronomical differences. It's like, the person that practices one time versus the person that practices 10,000 hours. It takes 1,000 hours to learn something, 10,000 hours to perfect it. There's those old measurements. So there's so many basic skills in martial arts, and every single style has their own unique flair and their own unique thing that they want to say, this is the thing that defines us. And the level of this skill defines you it defines your grade, really. So daily habits spawn a lot of great things in us, and having a daily practice is what builds our routines. So our daily habits regulate and maintain our mood, our diet, and our productivity levels. And so one of the things that I really love about martial arts is that I can get up in the morning, I can do 10 minutes of practice or a whole hour of practice, and I feel energized and ready for the day. So that is one huge benefit of long-term practice, is it sticks into your routine, and you kind of, it becomes your coffee. Instead of drinking coffee, I do Tai Chi, stuff like that. Yeah. So that's one really good thing about compounded practice.
I love that you
Dane,
mentioned
would you say that?
Well, I love that you mentioned that Tai Chi is better than coffee. I know the lag is crazy. The Tai Chi is better than coffee because, like, as a way to wake up as a morning routine, a lot of people say, I'm not normal until I've had my first cup of coffee. For me, I'm not normal until I've done my qigong in the morning. Until I've moved my body through the full range and breathed and relaxed. And so that for me, qigong is way better than coffee. And I also love that you mentioned those, like the daily benefits to focus, concentration, productivity, energy, of consistency, the benefits of consistency for your whole being and for your productivity and your effectiveness in the world, because those are things that many people are looking for solutions to in this day and age. And I wanted to ask about specifically how, if when not beyond the consistency, but into the range of duration, if you keep at these things for long term, how do the benefits compound and stack up when you get far out in time?
Okay, well, besides the obvious, so the obvious things would be coordination. When you practice a skill many, many times over, the coordination becomes so internal, so natural that it becomes an internal skill. It becomes something you can do while doing something else completely, and you can still do that primary thing without thought. That's an internalized skill. So that comes from that consistent practice. Secondly, your speed and power only get better with consistent practice. So if the karate, my favorite skill in karate is the seiken. So punch here. Doing that technique over and over and over will improve your speed, it'll improve your strength, and like I said, the difference between a white belt and a black belt when it comes to the seiken is obvious. So besides those things, let's see. So we get compounding practice. That innate ability is something that cannot be understated. It's always with you. So that one is one of my favorite examples. I was talking to someone recently, and they were saying they don't have much of a health practice. They don't really do exercise. They don't really do much daily. So I was really trying to recommend, like, hey, you should, at least come and try it. It's something that anyone can pick up. But your health is directly related to your fitness and your diet. And if you don't have any fitness and you only have diet, your body might be thin, but you're soft. So that fitness will just keep your body healthy. You want to move. It's the most natural thing that all life does is move. And if you don't move at all, because our modern society is living in a chair, that will not, your body just doesn't take well to that. And we've seen the results in the American society.
Yeah. The thing about habits is huge because the basis of excellence is built upon habits. And one of my favorite sayings is, bad habits accrue compounding interest, while good habits pay compounding dividends. And if you really think about it like a form of currency, a form of wealth, with money, there's the compound interest effect, which is essentially exponential growth. And that happens anywhere that the process feeds on itself, and the process of continual skill refinement and continual health cultivation definitely does compound on itself, and there is an exponential growth aspect to continuous long-term practice in that way. So you can think of each practice session as like an investment in a bank account, an investment in an investment account, like in your health bank account.
Yeah, definitely. I try to tell people that investing in your health is the best investment you'll ever make, because it's investing in you. I've read lots of these inspirational and motivational teachers, and they always say, consistently invest in yourself and you will only grow. We can't stop growing if we're constantly improving. So even if it's in a slightly different way than the way you did last year, just keep improving and you'll get better over time in many different ways. And you're constantly just trying to get a better capacitor. You're trying to have higher potential.
Yes, exactly. Continually expand your potential and your size and your capacity as a being. And you mentioned there's just a range of things that emerge as the benefits compound. And one thing I've noticed in particular with Tai Chi and internal martial arts is what increases what can increase seemingly indefinitely over time is the quality of sensitivity and the sort of the combined quality of softness and strength at the same time. The ideal epitome of a Tai Chi master is someone who is able to be completely, totally soft, or to be completely rock solid, strong at a choice. That's not locked in or out of either capacity, and it has amazing sensitivity. So that's something that as far as I can see, a person can go on developing that sort of capacity, that the sensitivity and the capacity, which is the capacity for perception and the capacity to expand your potential as a human being. The continuous expansion of potential is at the heart of the internal martial arts path.
100%, man. 100%. You made me think of two stories that I have to share. So during push hands, I've pushed hands with many people. The best person, the highest master I've ever pushed with is a guy named Chen Shaoxing. He's a familial inheritor of the Chun style Tai Chi family. And he's, considered one of the best masters still alive. When I pushed with him, it was like pushing on a cloud. He was as soft as cotton. Like, they say soft cotton on the outside, iron on the inside. I didn't feel any iron. I only felt cotton, but he could maneuver you around with so much ease that he'd never needed to use any of that metal interior. He could walk you around the studio. And then, yeah. So that was one thing. And then the second thing is I have met a Qigong master, and he was very impressive, and he had one of his longtime students with him. And his student was a doctor, and he was able to read my pulse, just put his fingers on my pulse, and then he listed out 5 things that were wrong with me that I had not shared, I had not divulged. He just said, "Oh, your shoulders have been bothering you for a while. Oh, your lungs are a little weak. Oh, you might need to eat some of this kind of food because your kidneys are a little." I'm like, what the? So he diagnosed me with my heartbeat, and that was the student. And he said, "Well, I'm just a student, and I think I'm amazing when I'm at my clinic and I'm doing this for people all day. But when I come and work with my master, with the Qigong master, he can just do the same thing I do by looking at someone. I still have no idea how to look at someone and diagnose them." So that's like, that was something beyond my comprehension of what a Qigong master could do. Just by looking at someone, they can read so much information, where this guy could read more information than I've ever been able to glean from just touching someone's heartbeat. So it's an infinitely deep abyss that we could keep going down, and it'll never stop giving rewards.
Who knows what the true limits of possibility are? Who knows what the true limits of human potential are? And I
Oh, 100%.
I want to speak I want to speak somewhat to the people, because I know there will be people who will watch this and who totally get it, and like they have movement and mind body practices integrated as part of their daily rituals and routines. And there will be some people who are like, oh yeah, that sounds nice, but that's so far from where I am. Like it wouldn't even, it would take forever to even just try to get started. But the things what we're talking about in terms of the compounding benefit of long-term practice, that's really like the icing on the cake, because you certainly don't have to become a high-level qigong master or anything, to enjoy the benefits of consistency, regularity, dedication, and having a central energetic hygiene practice to anchor your day around. And really, I I I I feel like I need to be a little bit conservative here, but if you start doing stuff that's good for you, like, it won't take you that long to notice. A week, 2, maybe 3 at the most. And like, you'll notice if you're doing something that's good for you, if you're exercising more, if you're eating better, if you're practicing qigong or meditation every day, and to build up just a consistency over time. I mean, we're talking like 3 months here is a good chunk of time. 6 months up to a year. You'll notice compounding benefits even in just that short time scale as well. So it really, because we're talking about the compounding benefits of long-term practice, that doesn't mean that it takes a long time before you start enjoying the benefits. They start pretty quickly as soon as you are able to establish consistency.
Yeah, that's very true. And being introduced to a lot of the basics, it just gets you on the path. And your teacher is just further down the path than you. That's pretty much all it is. And once we can get someone on the path to self-improvement and to giving them a tool that they can practice without anyone around, just all by themselves, as long as you can practice it by yourself and figure out how to check yourself and improve yourself, then it's infinite. Like I learned martial arts very young from friends of mine, and they taught me some really basic stuff. And now when I meet those same people, I am far beyond anything they ever became, because they quit. Like, they learned for a few years and then they stopped. And then they're like, oh, I can't do splits anymore. I'm like, oh, really? And I drop into splits and they're like, oh, wow. Stuff like that. It's fun to be able to do that and show off to the people who introduced me to it, and to, show them my appreciation by showing them how far I've come.
Yeah, taking it and run with it. And it's I like that you mentioned it's being on the path. It's about the trajectories, it's about having the trajectory. And you mentioned getting the introduction, which speaking of which, a good way to get an introduction to this sort of thing is in a seminar. So what I think this would be a good place to mention the upcoming Universal Tai Chi seminar coming up in a few weeks here in June. So because what you said about taking a practice or passing on a practice that someone can take and go on practicing, it really is. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. If you can take away this tool and have it as something that's a part of you, and like for my buddy Mark, for example, he started doing the 90 days of Qigong that we have, the videos that we have, and he's actually up to day 180 now. He's still doing it because he loves it so much, and he's telling me the whole time about how he's sleeping better and his chronic pains are going away, and he's actually able to balance on one leg now, and he couldn't when he started, and Or one time I had a friend that I had come to a few Tai Chi workshops, and I didn't see her for a year and a half or a couple of years, and when I saw her again, she's like, "Yeah, I'm still doing that qigong you showed me. It's amazing." Those experiences are really phenomenal. So, could you talk a little bit about the upcoming seminar and what some of those gifts are that are being transmitted for people to take away and incorporate into the rest of their lives?
Of course. Thank you. Yeah, I would love to talk about the seminar. So June 7th to 9th at the Golden Rishi School of Qigong and Tai Chi, we're going to be hosting a 9-hour, 3-day seminar. So it's totally, in my opinion, it's totally worth it. Of course, I'm teaching it. But the whole idea is I'm trying to share as much of Tai Chi with you as possible during the seminar, and get you through a lot of solo practice, exercises, breath work, really basic Qigong that you can start practicing right away to that day and practice that night when you get home, and you'll wake up the next day and be able to do it because it's so simple. And you won't need me to sit there and tell you what to do. And it feels good, and it's a wonderful daily habit to incorporate into your life. And then we move on to partner practice and how, working with other people will improve your sensitivity, it'll improve your appreciation for your own balance and for feeling someone else's balance, and for being able to make contact with someone without feeling like you're pushing them over or knocking them down. You can just touch them, and nothing, like you don't really affect their center because you know how to control your own center, and anyway, you get a lot of benefits from that. And then we also go into, I want to broach the combatives about how Tai Chi is a martial art. It's not just this beautiful practice that a lot of old people really like to do, because when you're 95, you can still practice Tai Chi. So I started early at 20 years old, and I intend to be doing it when I'm 120. So I think it's one of the best lifelong practices I've ever encountered, and I want to share with as many people as possible. So come on out, Golden Rishi Tai Chi, and come and do a universal Tai Chi seminar. It's only 3 days, and you'll get so much more than you're paying for.
So it's 9 hours over 3 days, right? 3-day
Yes. 3 hours
sessions in. Yeah, 3 hours over 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, June 7th to 9th in San Diego. And if you're lucky enough to be in San Diego already, and if you're not, San Diego's a great place to visit. I'm just saying. A lot of people do.
Oh, yeah. Come visit, and I can recommend multiple places you can stay.
Yeah, and this seminar is kind of broken down along the lines of the solo practices that you take into your daily rituals for the rest of your life, and that improve every aspect of your life, health, wellness, etc. And the partner practices that deepen your sensitivity, your balance, and allow you to go deeper with your own internal practice. And then the combatives aspects, the martial applications, and the and principles that Tai Chi is built upon as a martial art over 3 days, boiled down, 15 years of experience boiled down into a highly concentrated dose of experience and experiential learning over the course of one weekend.
Yeah. Everything we talk about, we have an exercise to help you learn it. So we won't introduce a concept without giving you some way to feel the concept instead of just hear about it.
Yeah, and so this is
all right. I think that's yeah. Sorry.
This is the Universal Tai Chi seminar. The idea is it's an introduction. If you've never experienced Tai Chi before, if you've always wanted to, if you're one of those people who's always wanted to get into that, now's the perfect time to get into that. So before we wrap up here, Andrew, how else can people get involved with what they do if they're interested in developing their mind, body, and internal martial arts practices?
All right, so we have multiple ways we can do this. We have our Patreon, where we support our online learning community, and very cheap to join, and you get access to lots of video content and direct communication with us. We have classes in San Diego every week, every Saturday morning at the San Diego Chinese Historical Museum. We offer a free class for anyone who wants to come. It's a beginner class, and it gets you introduced. And then if you really love Tai Chi and you want to move into martial arts and self-defense and really learn this stuff, I'm hosting weekly classes at the Golden Rishi Qigong and Tai Chi School in Kearney Mesa. So come on out, join us 6:30 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and 9 a.m. on Saturdays. Love to see you.
Yeah, totally awesome. And if you and check out our website for seminar opportunities wherever you are as well. So if you're in San Diego, join us. If you're not in San Diego, join our online learning community, and stay tuned to this channel. Let us know if you have any questions, any topics you'd like to hear about in the realm of Tai Chi, Qigong, internal martial arts, and mind-body mastery. So thanks for being here with me tonight, Andrew. It's great to talk about these topics always, and I'll look forward to hooking up with you next time.
All right. Thanks very much, Dane. It's always a pleasure. Live long and prosper.
Badass. Later.